this point, let me actually quickly stop and say this, what I'm sharing with you, is not a tax lien or tax deed system. It's that it is nothing to do with it, but this is my start. Remember when I freaked out? Remember when I freaked out about this wholesaling of this triplex? Because I followed everyone else like a lemming. I followed down what everyone else was saying, and I was basically about to jump into that housing area, which is complicated and hard. And again, I'm not dashing it. Like, if you're doing lots of house deals, that's wonderful, and you can make a ton of money in them. But I was going down that route without knowing what I was doing, basically, right? So my start is, I realized I freaked out, and I realized this is not where I can go. I just started in this country. I just married my wife. I just bought our starter home. My bed was paid on monthly payments. My couch was paid on monthly payments. My refrigerator was paid on monthly payments. My bed frame was paid on monthly payments. The cars were paid on monthly payment. Literally everything I owned was a kitchen table with 4 chairs around it. Anything else I paid with monthly payment on credit. I was up to my neck in debt, and I wasn't about to take on another loan to do a rehab on a property without knowing what I was doing. So I needed to find something else. So I looked and looked and looked, and one day I came across tax liens and tax deeds. Again, I didn't even know what that means. Heck, I didn't even know when the first people talked to me about 2x4s. I didn't know what that meant. When they talked about drywall, I was like, what do you mean by drywall? My walls are dry, right? This is where I started, and you probably have a head start about me, so you're already ahead of me in that game, so it's even easier for you to implement that. But I started not knowing anything about real estate, and then I came across tax deeds, and it literally blew my mind. The fact that, like, Goldman Sachs put out the study saying that there's $5 billion a year that's going to tax sale. Now, again, people ask me why. It doesn't matter why. The fact is, Goldman Sachs has proven that there's $5 billion a year that goes to tax sales every single year. $5 billion worth of real estate that the owners no longer want. And there's houses in there, but there's also a lot of land. But the point is, there's hundreds of thousands of people all over the country that no longer want their property, and they stop paying property taxes. But what I realized is that, and that was a mind-blowing process to me, because at the beginning I couldn't believe that was happening either. I couldn't believe why. But soon enough I realized I need to stop asking why and just take advantage of the deals. So I looked into that, but I also saw some drawbacks. And basically, tax lien, tax deeds, what that means is that if somebody doesn't pay the property taxes, the government puts the liens against it, or at some point of time sells the property at auction. And therefore these properties are being lost. The owners lose these properties, and they get mostly nothing in exchange. What I realized is that the cat is out of the bag in this environment, in this industry. There's a lot of competition in these auctions. I attended a tax deed auction where they sold 200 properties in one day, and there were 1,000 people attending that auction. So that means if 1,000 people bidding on 200 properties, what happens to prices? They go up, right? They go to the roof. Also, then the tax lien world, if you buy a lien on a property that they haven't paid property taxes on, you mostly have to wait several years before you can foreclose on that. And I don't know about you, I don't want to buy properties at 90 cents on the dollar. I want to buy them with a 90% discount. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to buy properties, wait 3-4 years before I could foreclose on a property. I want to make money now, and I'm sure you want to make money now. So I looked at that, and the concept was mind-blowing. But I tried to figure out how to make it better. And then literally, one day, as I discussed this with Michelle, 2 words came up. And those 2 words were, why wait? Why wait means in the following thing. If somebody made up their mind right now that they don't longer want this property, why in the world do we want to wait until this property goes for tax sale? Why do we want to wait until even these people stop paying property taxes? If there's 100,000 people in the country that are willing to let go of their property, that are toying with the idea, but they're still diligently paying property taxes, but if they're just waiting for somebody to contact them and take the burden of property ownership off their shoulder, right? That was the premise. So it's like, why wait? If somebody doesn't want their properties anymore, if somebody doesn't want to pay their property taxes anymore, if somebody doesn't care about this property anymore, but if it takes 5 years before they lose that property, why don't we go and find out who these people are?